Please welcome Vivian Din, who will sing our national anthem. Please rise if you're able and remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Go Bears!
Thank you, Vivian. That was wonderful. Now, please welcome the 9th Chancellor of the University of California, Berkeley, Robert J. Bergeneau.
Good advice. Thank you. Thank you. And pardon me for my allergies. It's the only negative living in Northern California. Cal graduates, family, friends, and guests, welcome to the University of California, Berkeley, and to Commencement 2012. My name is Robert Bergeneau, and it's my privilege to serve Berkeley as its 9th Chancellor. I also am a faculty member in the Departments of Physics and of Material Science and Engineering, and I'm sorry you're graduating because you won't get to hear me teaching freshman physics. Graduates, today is your day. You renew the proud line of alumni whose education and life are forever entwined with Berkeley. Congratulations, class of 2012. Graduation is a treasured moment for students and their families. So many of you wanted to participate that in the last 3 years, we've had to move commencement from the Greek Theater to the Haas Pavilion and now to this wonderful stadium. 3,200 graduates and 16,000 of their families and friends have joined us together. We come together at Commencement 2012 to honor our past, celebrate the excitement of the present, and look forward to the promise of the future. Today, each of you, as members of the graduating class, will experience the same joy, the same sense of personal accomplishment as the many hundreds of thousands of graduates who have preceded you throughout Cal's proud history. Each family here has traveled a distinctive path to arrive at today's graduation. Many of you are the first in your family to graduate from college. Others are fourth-generation Cal graduates. Fewer of those. This event has special significance for all of you. Graduates, please join me in thanking your families and all the other partners, children, and friends who have stood by you with their understanding and support. Please also join me in thanking the faculty and staff members and all those participating here today with us to make this such a joyful commencement ceremony. Graduates, this is your special time, a major milestone in each of your lives. Commencement recognizes and celebrates your accomplishments. Today, you are congratulated on your progress toward a significant reward for all your toil and perseverance, a university degree, but not just any university degree, a University of California, Berkeley degree. Graduates, a Berkeley degree means that you have received the best possible education that only a world-class public teaching and research university such as Berkeley can offer. You have been taught by leading researchers and scholars who bring to the classroom a depth of understanding and a real passion for their subject. During your time here, Berkeley faculty have won 2 Nobel Prizes, one in economics awarded to Professor Williamson, and one in physics to Professor Saul Perlmutter. Both are outstanding scholars and teachers. And I didn't count the number of our graduates who won Nobel Prizes, but it's actually more than 2, so the graduates are winning. You have participated in knowledge being transformed by investigation and discovery, and you will have even contributed to that process. At Berkeley, as Berkeley students, you will have learned to be change makers, risk takers, and boundary breakers. Each of you in your own way has made significant contributions during your time at Berkeley and learned from each other. You are part of the rich intellectual, cultural, geographic, ethnic, gender, religious, and socioeconomic diversity that makes studying at Berkeley such a dynamic learning experience. I've been most impressed by your zeal for ensuring the long-term health of our planet. You have educated me and others on greenness and pushed hard for our commitment to sustainability. Right. Your ingenuity has shown us what marvelous things one can do to make our campus greener. Your passion for responsible stewardship of our planet is reflected in the many green energy projects in which the campus is engaged. You have flocked to our Global Poverty in Practice program. Your inventiveness has already resulted in projects that are improving life in impoverished areas of the world. You have responded to crises around the world with compassion, energy, and commitment to Berkeley's ideal of public service, setting up programs to help Haiti after the earthquake and assisting in Japan after the tsunami. In all dimensions, you have brought us great pride. During your time here, Cal continued its 39th straight year of winning NCAA championships. Cal became just the 4th school in history ever to see its men's and women's swimming and diving programs repeat as NCAA champions, capturing the crowns in 2011 and 2012. All of us will be cheering Cal students and graduates this summer in the Summer Olympics in London. As the class of 2012, you arrived at Berkeley at the start of the economic crisis that has affected ours and other nations and has seen its effects on public higher education. Many of you have worked with us to advocate for public higher education and to bring attention to the state's diminishing support for California's outstanding public education system. We have listened to your concerns about growing costs and accessibility. We have worked hard to increase financial aid for students from low-income families and recently introduced a plan to help middle-income families, the first ever such program for a public university in the United States. This will be your legacy to the students who will follow you. I point out with great pride that at Berkeley, we have as many low-income undergraduates receiving federal Pell Grants as all 8 Ivy League universities combined. This is a remarkable achievement, and it represents the public and inclusive nature of Berkeley more succinctly than any other statistic I might cite. You have also generously volunteered your time to reach out to communities that are underrepresented on our campus and worked to help ensure that everyone feels welcomed at Cal. You have helped make us a more equitable and inclusive community. As you leave Cal, I ask 2 things of you. 1, please continue to speak out for and support public universities. Here in California, we have the finest public higher education system in the nation, indeed in the world. Right. Sadly, it is under great duress. We need the people of California, especially our legislators, to understand the importance of this precious resource that is so vital to the future well-being of this great state. 2, please continue Berkeley's great tradition of public service by volunteering your services to the community. Whether as a tutor to a needy high school student, a big sister to a young girl in an impoverished neighborhood, a member of Teach for America, or the Peace Corps, I hope that you will continue to seek out opportunities to give back to your communities locally, nationally, and globally. Berkeley prides itself on students who are independent and self-directed. Berkeley students are innovators and risk takers. Berkeley students are leaders. You will see these qualities exemplified in your commencement speaker and fellow alumnus, Dr. Eric E. Schmidt, Executive Chairman of Google Incorporated. He will make this commencement a memorable one for you. Graduates, this commencement represents a turning point for you. You may not know where the future will take you, but as you go, know that we will be there with you. We are proud of you. We are proud that you are joining a community of Cal alums more than 450,000 strong, all of whom have a common bond, their pride in Berkeley. You too will always be members of the Cal community. Please stay in touch with your university and continue to share from near and far in what our university has to offer. I hope that you will remember the excellent education that you received here and that it will serve you and society well in the years to come. May your lives be richly rewarding and fulfilling, and may you enjoy much happiness. Congratulations and good luck, class of 2012. Go Bears!
Now welcome Jeannie Fang and Catherine Estrello, class of 2012 gift committee, with a special presentation to the university.
Good afternoon, faculty, family, friends, and members of the graduating class of 2012. We're proud to be up here representing our 2012 Senior Gift Campaign, and we congratulate you on your participation and commitment to maintaining Cal's excellence for future bears. The class of 1874 started this long-standing tradition with the gift of $48.10 for books. This year, our class is given to a wide variety of departments, majors, and programs on campus, including the Cal Fund, which supports current and future undergraduates. Next year, a plaque will be installed on Dwinell Plaza to honor our senior class gift, just as past senior classes are being recognized through plaques on the plaza now. Our plaque will always be there to remind us and the rest of the campus community of our class's dedication to helping future Cal students, just like past generations of alumni have done for us.
Our class had a record-breaking year this year. 1,500 seniors were inspired to leave their legacy at Cal by making a contribution to the senior class gift. We, along with the rest of the Senior Gift Committee, have been honored to lead this year's 2012 campaign. And now, without further ado, we would like to present you, Chancellor Bergeneau, with the class of 2012 senior gift of $102,000. Thanks to UC Berkeley alumni Paul and Stacy Jacobs, our gifts will be matched 2-to-1 through the New Alumni Challenge. This means that with the matched amount, we as a class have raised over $306,000 to support current and future Cal students. Congratulations, seniors, and go Bears!
On behalf of the university, but most importantly, future Cal students, I want to give a very great thank you to the Senior Gift Committee and to all members of the class of 2012. It's a great pleasure to receive this gift on behalf of the university, and this gift will serve to remind us and future generations of your spirit, compassion, and generosity. Thank you.
Please welcome Edward K. Liu, Vice President of Commencement, Class of 2012.
Distinguished guests, faculty, family, friends, and the amazing class of 2012. Good morning and welcome. It is my utmost honor today to introduce to you our keynote speaker, Dr. Eric Schmidt. Holding both a master's degree and a Ph.D. in computer science from our very own UC Berkeley, Dr. Eric Schmidt is not only an extremely powerful influence in today's world of technology, he is also our alumnus of the year. Among his countless achievements, he has served on prestigious research institutions such as Xerox PARC and Bell Labs. He has served as the Chief Technology Officer of Sun Microsystems, and he has served as the CEO and Chairman of Novell. But perhaps you may know him best as the Executive Chairman and former CEO of Google. Since joining Google in 2001, Dr. Schmidt has helped the company grow from a Silicon Valley startup to a global leader in technology and business. Under his leadership, Google dramatically scaled its infrastructure and diversified its product offerings while maintaining a strong culture of innovation. As Executive Chairman, he is responsible for building partnerships and broader business relationships, government outreach, and tech thought leadership, and advising senior leadership on business and policy issues. Outside of Google, Dr. Schmidt is a member of the President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology and the Prime Minister's Advisory Council in the UK. He was elected to the National Academy of Engineering in 2006 and inducted into the American Academy of Arts and Sciences as a fellow in 2007. He also chairs the board of the New America Foundation, and since 2008 has been a trustee of the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, New Jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. Eric Schmidt.
Thank you, Edward. And the best thing about greeting probably approximately half of the class is the woman who came in on her phone saying, "Mom, I've got to go now." This is the new Cal graduate always talking to her mother. Now, it's great to be back here on campus. It's an honor to be invited, and it's an honor to hold a degree from Berkeley, and it's an honor to look out on this next generation of Golden Bears. Now, When you return to a place of intense memories, you think it's a place that's changed so much. But in truth, you are the one who has changed more. Your memories will be vivid. Things will look a little different, but you will feel very much the same. When you return to Berkeley, you will have changed, and in turn, you will have changed the world. Now, before I begin, I want to remind you that tomorrow is Mother's Day, right? So for all of the mothers out there, and the graduates might be the stars of today, but just know that they would not shine as brightly if you were not here. And I say to all of you graduates, if you first don't succeed, do it like your mom told you to do it. And that may be the most important advice I can give you today. So, tempus fugit, time is money. Most of all, time is dreams, and computers give you time for dreams. I walked across this stage in 1982 for my Ph.D., and that year the computer was Time Magazine's Person of the Year. That quote is from that article. Computers were just entering the mainstream, big blocky contraptions, lugged into houses and plunked down on desks. Most of America had no idea the power of those machines. But most Americans started to find they suddenly had more time for dreams. Even in their wildest dreams, though, there's no way that 30 years ago, later, the children, grandchildren, would carry something exponentially more powerful with them everywhere they go, on their laps, on their pockets, digital connections forged among millions of people around the world, tethered together at all times to form a worldwide community. Now, computers obviously gave me time to dream, too. Back then, back when I was like you, going to the Greek Theater and Stanford Games and wandering up and down Telegraph, it felt like a new world was being imagined right here on campus, in all the different labs and workshops and dorms. There was something in the air that made you think, something that made you dream. And today I feel that again, being here with you. Just the other day, I saw a video of a Berkeley student who'd totally automated his dorm room, his lights, his refrigerator, his television, and everything powered from his mobile device. Now, the romantic mode mirror was a particularly nice touch, I thought, showing Berkeley creativity. But this is just one small-scale example, obviously, but the energy here is similar to the energy that I felt 30 years ago, and 30 years before that, I suspect, and before that going back generations. That's what's so special about Berkeley. A place committed to personal liberty and free expression. A place where humanism and science can coexist, and they can feed off each other in service of a better day. And as the Chancellor said, 22 Nobel laureates, Olympic gold medalists, a Supreme Court Chief Justice, a Secretary of Defense, writers, artists, business pioneers, Oscar winners, even the reigning NFL MVP. They all roamed, right? This is pretty exciting. They all roamed this beautiful campus and left to make their mark on society, on culture, and on the world. And now you follow them. Yes, you, sitting right there, baking in the sun after 2 hours, possibly nursing a hangover. Don't tell your parent, right? Don't tell your parents. My God, that's a lot of pressure. What can I do? Okay, well, what can I dream? Well, that's your question to answer, but I can't do it for you. But here's what I know. I know one thing is for certain. No graduating class gets to choose the world that they graduate into, just like you don't get to choose your parents and your siblings. Every class has its own unique challenges. Every class enters a history that, up to this point, is being written for it. This is no different. What is different, though, is the chance each generation has to make that history and write it larger, or in my business, to program it better. And on that score, your generation's opportunities are greater than any generations in modern history. You could actually write the code for all of us as a society. You're connected to each other in ways those who came before you can only dream of. And you're using those connections to strengthen the invisible ties that hold humanity together and to allow us to sort of deepen our understanding of the world around us. You are the emblems of the sense of possibility that will define our new age. Now, in the past, it's always older generations standing up on high, trying to teach the next generation the ways of the world, trying to make sure that they follow in their footsteps. Well, graduates, I'll admit, I think it's different today. You're quite simply teaching us. Interesting. This generation, your generation, is the first fully connected generation the world has ever known. What's the first thing you do when you get up? Check your phone, your laptop, read some email, comb through your social networks, update your status. I'm awake, right? As opposed to I'm not awake. If you are awake, you are online. You are connected. Some of you are probably texting to your friends right now, tweeting the speech, changing your status, smile, you're on camera, right? Welcome to our new world. There's a joke about a college kid being mugged who says, hold on, stop. Let me update my status, letting my friends know that I'm getting mugged, and then you can have my phone. And I suspect that somebody from Berkeley would actually have the chutzpah to do that. Now, this is obviously a joke, but it's also telling. It's a depiction of how essential our technology has become to your generation's ability and your ability to connect with them. Now, identity and connection concepts are as old as humanity itself. They define so much of who we are now. They shape our times. They define the human condition. Identity and connection, it's your task to make those time-worn concepts, spin them around, reimagine them, make them fresh and new and exciting. Berkeley helped build the platform that you are based that on. They built it for all of us. Now, I know it's daunting. I know it's not a great economy to be walking off from the stage into. I know all of this. But I also know that you have advantages. You have a competitive edge. You have an innate mastery of technology. You have an ability to build and foster connections that no generation before you has ever possessed. People bemoan a generation who grew up living life in front of screens, always connected to something or someone. Those people are wrong. They're absolutely wrong. The fact is that we're all connected now is a blessing, not a curse. And we can solve many problems in the world as a result of this. It's not only an advantage that you have, it's a responsibility that you carry. I mean, today there are 54 wars and conflicts raging around the world. 1.5 billion people live on less than $1 a day. Hundreds of millions of children go to bed hungry tonight. We need to fix that. Nearly half the world's people don't live under democratic governments, and rights we all enjoy are a rarity, not a norm. I'm proud to be an American. And when it comes to the internet, we think everyone is online. But only 1 billion people have smartphones, and only 2 billion have access to the web. For most of the world, internet cafes are like digital oases in technological deserts. But in this century, there is a chance for change on this horizon. The spread of mobile phones, the new forms of connectivity offer us the prospect of connecting every community in our lifetime. When that happens, connectivity can revolutionize every aspect of society, politically, socially, economically. To connect the world is to free the world, I say. And so if we get this right, so we can fix all the other problems at the same time. And again, no pressure on our graduates today. It's true, we have all the knowledge literally at our fingertips. But just because we know much more than we used to doesn't mean that our problems go away. The future doesn't just happen. It's not etched or written or coded anywhere. There's no algorithm or formula that says technology will do X or Y to be sure to happen. Technology doesn't work on its own, but it's a tool, and you are the ones to harness that power. And that requires innovation and entrepreneurship. Innovation is disruptive. One thing I'll tell you, if you know you're innovating when people are worried about you, graduates, make people worry. Give them a little bit of a shock. Try something new. Entrepreneurship is the lifeblood of a new economy and a more prosperous society, the engine that keeps communities growing. 2/3 of the jobs created are in small businesses, and you all should now try to create a small business or join one or be part of one. And of course, I would recommend that you use all of Google's products to help set that up. But in any case, you all have a chance to have an original contribution. Don't just be a shepherd following somebody else's vision. New models, new forms of thinking. That's what we need now. You don't need to become an aid worker or a teacher, although I obviously applaud those. You don't need to be an engineer, although I obviously support that too. Everyone here can make their mark by creating new standards of brilliance and innovation. And those standards can spread and scale in ways that are unimaginable. The collective intelligence of our society, our version of the Borg, if you will, is really quite different. Think of it as a new society with mostly American norms and values that crosses continents and countries and unites all of us. The distinctive feature of our new world is that you can be unique while you're also being completely connected. That's what's so different. And that, to me, more than anything else, is the American dream. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe fully in the power of technology to change the world for the better, and I believe even more fully in the ability of your generation to use that power to great effect, to rule technology. But you can't let technology rule you. Remember to take at least 1 hour, and I know this is going to be very, very hard, and turn off your device. 1 hour. Shut it down. Learn where the off button is. In my case, the Android phone, it's right here. Take your eyes off the screen and look into the eyes of the person that you love. Have a conversation, a real conversation, not a texting conversation. Actually talk to them. I know this is a new skill, okay? Talk, speak, and look. With friends who make you think and the family who make you laugh. Engage with the world around you. Feel and taste the smell and hug of what's there right in front of you and not what's a click away. Experience it as a human. And then turn the machine right back on, of course. But life is, the point I'm trying to make here is that life is not lived in the glow of a monitor. Life is not a series of status updates. Life is about who you love, how you live. It's about who you travel with through the world. Your family, your collaborators, your friends. Life is a social experience first. The best aspects of experience are not lonely ones. They're spent in the company of others. Our landscape has changed, yes, but our humanity has always and will remain what makes us who we are. And who you are is a proud and talented group of golden bears. Now at Berkeley, you've come to know extraordinary people. Look around, take a minute, think about this group, your closest friends, the experiences that you've had. A few years ago, you started off on the road to adventure with these people, knowing them as boys and girls wandering around campus, dazed and overwhelmed. Now you're all extraordinary men and women, in total control of your destiny, ready to make your own mark, not on history, but on the future. And that's what's so interesting. Now, it may have seemed so difficult along the road, an impossible slog, and I remember that. But today you have made it. And the friendships that you forged here when the times were good and the times were bad and so forth, when you realized you just overslept your lecture, which I'm sure all of you did at least once, those are the friendships that will matter for life. The people that you have met at Berkeley will be some of the strongest friends and closest allies you ever meet in your lives. It's been that way certainly for me. When you leave here, don't leave them behind. Stay close and stay strong. Take them with you and go and change the world together. I ask of you, find a way to say yes to things. Say yes to invitations to a new country. Say yes to meet new friends, to learning a new language, picking up a new sport. Yes is how you get your first job and how you get your next job. Yes is how you find your spouse and even your kids. And even if it's a bit edgy, a bit out of your comfort zone, saying yes means that you will do something new, meet someone new, and make a difference in your life and likely others as well. Yes lets you stand out in a crowd, to be an optimist, to stay positive, to be the one everyone comes to for help, for advice, or just for fun. Yes is what keeps us all young. Yes is a very tiny word that allows you to do very, very big things. Say it often. Don't be afraid to fail, and do not be afraid to succeed. For those of you who are thinking too big, be smart enough not to listen. For those of you who say the odds are too small, be dumb enough to give it a shot. For those of you who can ask, how can you do that? Look at them in the eyes and say, I will find a way. I, for one, am happy to have you join us as adults, and the quicker we can have you lead, the better. Time to throw out all those agey baby boomers and replace those with the best equipped to lead in the new age. March us off to a better day. Now, that Time article that I was telling you about was called A New Day Begins. That day has long since faded into dusk. We need a new day to dawn now today. The power and possibility, the intellectual energy, the human electricity seated in the stadium, the sum of all of the people, the families, the mothers, the fathers, the siblings, the graduates, on all of the faculty, not just here, but in stadiums around the country, your generation will break a new day. Your vast knowledge, things which are inconceivable to me when I was here, will seed a new era. Your bold ideas will shape a new reality. Your agile minds will inspire a new dawn, as I see it. You've got this thing in your pocket with all this power, exponentially more than in 1982. You have time to dream. So I ask you, class of 2012, what are you going to dream for all of us to enjoy? Thank you so much. You have my greatest congratulations, and thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Schmidt, for those inspiring and thought-provoking remarks. Now please welcome Sean Dreyer on piano and Isaac Jackson on vocals, who will perform Lights by Journey.
Berkeley.
Chancellor Bergeneau will now recognize the recipient of the Elise and Walter A. Haas International Award.
First of all, I want to thank Eric for his great speech, except for the part about throwing out the aging baby boomers. Eric, we're not going. Actually, I am, but the rest of us. It's our tradition to present at commencement the Elise and Walter A. Haas International Award to honor an alumnus or alumna who has a distinguished record of service to his or her country. This year's awardee is alumnus Professor Emeritus Wan Se, but who most of us affectionately know as Y.T. Lee, Ph.D., 1965. A Nobel laureate who has been called the Mozart of physical chemistry. Dr. Lee is one of the most renowned citizens of Taiwan, the first Taiwanese-born recipient of the Nobel Prize. He recognized that the influence and prestige of the prize gave him a unique opportunity to serve society. In addition to his own impressive scientific and academic achievements, he has championed the development of his home country's scientists and scholars. He has also spearheaded the modernization of the country's overall education system. Since his retirement in 2006 as president of Taiwan's Academia Sinica, which he transformed into a foremost internationally recognized research institution, Dr. Lee has been a tireless advocate for climate change awareness and improvement of the environment. He currently is president of the International Council for Science, whose mission is to strengthen international science for the benefit of society. One of his top priorities is to implement a new strategic framework for research on global sustainability. Y.T. Lee embodies CAL's commitment to academic excellence and public service. We are enormously proud to have an alumnus of his caliber. It is with great pleasure that I present the Elise and Walter A. Haas International Award to Dr. Y.T. Lee. I'm supposed to put the medal on you. I presume that this is the medal. Yeah. It also says in my notes that there's a rather generous check to be given, but it's not here, but it's the medal that matters, YT.
Chancellor Bergeneau, distinguished guests, graduating class, their family and friends, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor to receive the Elise and Walter Haas International Award from my beloved University of California at Berkeley. It was half a century ago I came to Berkeley to pursue my graduate studies in the midst of the free speech movement. It was an exciting time, and the higher education at that time was essentially free in California. My life at Berkeley was very exciting, certainly left a deep imprint in my following years. During the last 50 years, things have changed drastically. The human species has been degrading the environment at all spatial scales, from local to global. The way things are going, it is very likely, as the global warming trend continues, within the next 50 years, extreme weather events might bring great difficulties for this and future generations. In the survival of our societies, our civilization, and our culture will be greatly threatened. It is a challenging time for all of us, but this is also time, as Eric Schmidt said, we are all connected, we are in a new era. This is also a time when there are great hopes to reduce poverty, inequality, improve livelihood, and advance new knowledge for a transition to a more economically, socially, and environmentally sustainable and equitable world. Actually, in such a fine, sunny day, we will not think about what could happen to us, but there's no time to lose. The time for action is now. As all of you face the future, I'm sure you have some uncertainty. But we know if we want our future to be certain, the best way is to create the future ourselves, according to what we want. So let us work together with all the Berkeley graduates working together, connect to the rest of the world. We can do it. Go Bears! Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, YT. At Berkeley, we take great pride in being a preeminent public teaching and research university. Our top researchers are also often our very best teachers and are committed to teaching in the undergraduate program. Each year, we honor our finest teachers by awarding them the Distinguished Teaching Award through a very rigorous competition. The recipients of this award are truly great and inspiring teachers. It is my great pleasure to announce to you this year's Distinguished Teaching Award recipients. They are Professor Sally Goldman, South and Southeast Asian Studies, Professor Edward Miguel, Economics, Professor Joanna Picciotto, English, Professor David Sklansky, Law, and Professor Deborati Sunyal, French. So please join me in recognizing these outstanding teachers. It now gives me great pleasure to acknowledge awards to some of our very many outstanding graduates. First is the May They're Good Citizen Award. The May They're Good Citizen Award, established in 1983, is given annually to a graduating senior with an outstanding record of civic commitment, well-rounded scholarship, and service to the university. The award goes to Farah Moose. Just stand up and wave. Sorry. Next is the Anna Espenshata Prize. The Espenshata Prize was established in 1987 to recognize a graduating senior female student athlete for excellence in attitude involving her athletic endeavors. The annual recipient exemplifies the Golden Bear spirit. This year's award goes to Yana Yurakova, who isn't here, and I actually presume is playing in the Pac-12 championships that you've heard over there. The Jake Gimbel Prize. The Jake Gimbel Prize was established in the 1930s to recognize a graduating senior male student athlete for excellence in attitude involving his athletic endeavors. Again, the annual recipient exemplifies the Golden Bear spirit. And the award this year goes to Giorgio Tavecchio. So congratulations to all of our award winners. Now it's my honor to introduce the University Medal finalists. The University Medal honors Berkeley's top graduating senior. And as an aside, by the way, one of our Nobel Prize winners in economics this year was the university medalist in his year at Berkeley, one of the many graduates to win Nobel Prizes. This gold medal was first awarded at commencement ceremonies in 1871 and has been awarded every year since then. This year, 4 students were finalists for the University Medal, and it's my pleasure to introduce them to you. First of all, Allison Barden, whose major is anthropology. Zarko Perovic, whose majors are political science and classical civilizations, a double major. Whitney Stewart, also a double major, molecular and cellular biology and Italian studies. Sho Takatori, whose major is chemical engineering. Let's give them all a warm round of applause. It now gives me great pleasure to present the University Medal to the most distinguished graduating senior on the Berkeley campus. By the way, to even apply for this medal, you have to graduate with a minimum of a 3.96 grade point average. So there's not been a chancellor in history who would have qualified for the University Medal. Maybe Seaborg, actually. I take it back. It now gives me great pleasure to present the University Medal to the most distinguished graduating alumni on the Berkeley campus, Eric Olaf. Eric. Eric is an extraordinary and inspiring young man whose diverse experiences and successes demonstrate that he is an explorer in every sense. He seizes every opportunity to enrich himself intellectually, personally, and culturally. Today, he is Berkeley's top graduating senior. At later departmental graduations, Eric will receive a Bachelor of Arts degree in Chinese language and literature, as well as a Bachelor of Science degree in conservation and resource studies. The breadth and variety of his coursework alone emphasizes Eric's dedication to pursuing his passions, while his 3.99 cumulative grade point average shows a truly remarkable work ethic. What happened to the .01, Eric? You're going to explain that?
I don't know.
Eric's path to Berkeley was equally well-rounded and stimulating. He wrote in his university medalist essay that one only advances in life by taking risks and getting outside one's comfort zone. Eric's versatile experiences underscore his practice of his philosophy. Eric's interests and travels abroad include Tibet, which intersected well with his academic path. When he arrived at Cal in the spring of 2008, his 4 years of high school Mandarin inspired him to major in Chinese language and literature. After attending the College of Natural Resources 8-week forestry field camp in the Sierra Nevada in the summer of 2009, and being inspired by nature's remarkable power and beauty, Eric decided to double major in conservation and resource studies. His field research brought him to the furthest corners of the earth, where he immersed himself in the science, language, and culture of each new place. In 2010, Eric traveled to the Yunnan province in China, where he worked on an independent research project on deforestation and refined his Mandarin language skills. He also, and this was a horrible punishment, traveled to the Polynesian island of Moorea, where he examined symbiotic relations between sea creatures, sea spirits. This has been going on too long, I apologize. Eric's talents extend far beyond his intellect. He's also engaged Actually, at Berkeley, it could be sea spirits, but anyway, that's it. He's also an engaged and socially conscious global citizen. Last summer, he worked with the Waves of Hope nonprofit foundation in northern Nicaragua to aid in sea turtle conservation and teach English to the local community. He has made it a priority to drive change on the campus and surrounding community, working as the food service manager in his housing co-op and participating in the CAL and local government program to facilitate tenants' rights workshops and create a renter's guide for students. His efforts and successes exemplify CAL's commitment to academic excellence and public service. Eric's enthusiasm for learning and taking risks motivated him to seek out rich and diverse opportunities inside the lecture halls and beyond, and we can all learn from his brilliant example. With life as an undergraduate student nearly behind him, Eric is considering attending graduate school to study wildlife veterinary medicine or pursue a Ph.D. in wildlife ecology. It's now my distinct pleasure to present Eric with this certificate and medallion. Okay, I don't get to hang it around your neck, but that is the medallion. Okay. And certificate. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's all yours. Is that yours?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. So when I found out that I was a candidate for this award, I immediately started freaking out. In part because I knew it was such an incredible honor to even be considered, but mostly because I knew that if I won, I would have to stand here today and deliver a speech in front of 16,000 people, attempting to control both my voice and my bladder. I had no idea what I could say that would be of interest and value to you all. Naturally, I decided to dig deep into my soul. On Google.com. And when I typed valedictory speeches into that search box, I was pretty disappointed. No offense, Eric. The results were along the lines of, tell people to follow their dreams, tell an anecdote with universal appeal. It was pretty standard, run-of-the-mill sort of stuff. So I decided to look to past winners and finalists of this award in an attempt to borrow some inspiration. I found an article about Aaron Benavidez, who was last year's medalist, and read something that caught my eye. Reflecting on why he was able to succeed at Berkeley, Aaron said, "Berkeley is a place to which you have to come knowing yourself. By the time that I arrived, I knew what I wanted to do and the courses that I wanted to take." Now, these words surprised me because I had a very different experience here at Cal. I had no idea what I wanted when I came to Berkeley 4.5 years ago. The main reason that I decided to take Chinese my first semester was simply because I wanted to be in at least one class with less than 500 students. And although I didn't know what I wanted to take away from Berkeley, I believe that I have received a lot. I had the privilege to live for 2 years in the fine establishment that is Cloyne Court, an historic hotel that has been converted into student cooperative housing and where I met so many of my closest friends. I got to spend a summer in the mountains at UC Berkeley's forestry camp, where I learned about Sierra Nevada ecology and soaked up the knowledge while marinating in the local swimming holes of Quincy, California. In the true spirit of Berkeley, and in a fierce attempt to fulfill my own stereotype, I traveled down the California coast in a rainbow-colored bus. I studied abroad in China, swinging alongside sagacious senior citizens on the monkey bars at public parks. Last fall, I lived at a UC Berkeley research station where I examined the relationship between a shrimp and a starfish, while at the same time researching human relationships. Our class had 18 girls and 3 boys on a tropical island, and I was the only boy without a girlfriend back home. I fell in love here at Berkeley, twice. So I had no idea what I wanted when I came to this institution, and yet it turned out pretty damn good. So while reading about other university medalists to find inspiration for this speech, I noticed a common trend. They all had pretty remarkable plans. Medical school at UCSF, a Ph.D. program in computational engineering at Stanford, a master's program in evolutionary anthropology at Harvard. All that I have lined up is a summer research job that pays $13 an hour. And while I don't take that for granted in this recovering economy, it still doesn't have quite the same ring as graduate school at Oxford. So, in the process of trying to figure out how to celebrate the accomplishments of our graduating class, I started spiraling into what I call the post-college crisis, a psychological disorder that has plagued many of my friends who are graduating. While in school, a lot of us felt as though we had a purpose, a set path of required courses and interesting electives to reach the end goal of a degree. Graduation, however, represents the end of that path, which is both a cause for celebration, but also somewhat unsettling. Surrounded by thousands of accomplished classmates, we feel the need to know exactly what we want to do with our post-college lives. And this is only reinforced by the never-ending question from our parents, relatives, and peers. So what are you going to do after college? Naturally, a large majority of us don't know the answer, myself included. On most Mondays, I want to return to China and attempt to master a difficult foreign tongue. On Wednesdays, I want to finish vet school prereqs and pursue a degree in wildlife veterinary medicine. On Fridays, I want to enroll in a Ph.D. program in conservation biology. And by the time that the weekend rolls around, I generally just want to buy a Winnebago and go live in Yosemite Valley. And while this uncertainty is unsettling and nerve-wracking at times, I've come to understand that it doesn't have to be. I came to Berkeley having no idea what I wanted to do with myself, and that turned out quite all right. Why then do I have any reason to believe that the future will be any different? Some of us know exactly what we want to do for the rest of our lives, and some of us are just as unsure as the day that we first stepped onto this campus. No matter where we stand, let us not fret or panic, but rather celebrate our accomplishments. Berkeley is not a school that babies its students. Our hands have not been held throughout this process, and the very fact that we have made it this far demonstrates that we've developed the ambition and dedication necessary to navigate life successfully. So let's not stress about the days ahead, for I truly believe that we can put faith in the fact that the same intelligence, drive, and badass nature that brought us to this very stadium today will continue to guide us into the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Now please welcome Joyce Pang, President of the Senior Class 2012.
There is no institute quite like the University of California, Berkeley. As we grace this campus for the last time this week, class of 2012, I hope we can recollect all the memories of our 4 years here. from the wonderful philosophical inquiries on the walls of Dwinelle's bathrooms, to the perhaps slightly more informed lecture slides of our professors. We will never forget those caffeine-fueled nights at Doe, the mornings spent dodging flyers on Sproul, and most importantly of all, the minutes spent with people that have changed our lives. For no matter what you call it, a university, a community, a place of higher learning, Cal is a family we have created. These are the people who we will keep in our hearts in times ahead. They will be the ones to pick us up when we can't ourselves, the ones to celebrate us when we achieve. We have discovered siblings here, be it through our roommates, student organizations, fraternities, co-ops, or classmates. We have found some of the best mentors in the world in our professors and advisors. Berkeley has given us so much. And today, we leave our mark here as well, as graduates. For today is the turning point, the time for us to become Berkeley's pride. From here on out, we are the next generation of scientists, doctors, teachers, artists, and entrepreneurs. We are Cal alumni, a title that is not taken lightly. Class of 2012, the world awaits us. Please welcome the graduating members of the Golden Overtones and Men's Octet, and rise for the singing of Hail to California.
Hail to California, alma mater dear. Sing the joyful chorus, sounded far and near. Rally round her banner, we will never fail. California, alma mater, hail, hail, hail. Hail to California, Queen in whom we're blessed, spreading light and goodness over all the West. Fighting 'neath her standard, we shall sure prevail. California, alma mater, hail, hail, hail. Go Bears!
We thank you again for attending the Class of 2012 Commencement Convocation. Congratulations to the graduates and their families and friends. Please remain in your seats until the recessional has been completed. The graduates will recess to music of the Class of 2012, and we wish you all a pleasant and safe afternoon, a happy Mother's Day tomorrow, and most of all, a hearty Go Bears.